You're wondering how to convince a person like that to try Dwarf Fortress. So somebody who says that it makes them feel dumb and they don't like it because it makes them feel dumb because they don't think that they're smart enough to play it. How do you convince that person to play games? Well, just explain to them that they only feel dumb because they're used to games telling them that they're dumb. They're used to games holding their hand from beginning to end and gently caressing their nutsack while they go on playing the game, right? So you start a game. You start playing a game, right? And the game immediately is just like, well, here's step 1, here's step 2, here's step 3, here's step 4, here's step 5. You're stupid and you need these instructions to play the game. Like, I know people, bless their souls, who literally can't play games unless every single thing is explained to them because they don't read a single UI element, right? I like it when a game caresses my nutsack too, but sometimes I want to get kicked a couple times. You know, sometimes I like the pain, right? You can't always, like, you don't always get the ball fondle, okay? Sometimes you gotta get beaten into submission before you can enjoy your fun, right? And Dwarf Fortress is kind of like that. You need to have, like, an element of, like, determination and hard work and effort to enjoy the game. Like, genuinely. Sometimes you need to get beaten before you can beat the game back. You know what I'm saying? This is getting very weird and a very strange analogy, but I think I'm getting my point across to a degree. Like, it's at the end of the day, some people are just not going to enjoy it, right? And some people just aren't going to have the dedication and desire to put in the time to learn it. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that that is totally acceptable. Like, seriously, I genuinely believe that that is totally fine. It is absolutely okay that some people will just not enjoy it. And they should just wait for the Steam version, if that's what they really want to dedicate. If that's what they think will help them enjoy the game, they should just wait for the premium version that has the features that they would like to see. And that's just kind of the long and short of it, really. So this should be the only place where they're keeping gems. Should be. What am I importing currently? Gems, metal, and alcohol. All right, well. Let's try swapping you over to that and try... We'll keep you on. Hey, there's some gems inbound. How about jewelry? Nope. So what I should do is I should make a single transport. The single one. To move gems over to that warehouse. Now, Dwarf Fortress, it now caresses your nutsack. I mean, I should be careful about how I word that because some people might think I'm being literal. I don't know if that was even... DF is like a permanent nipple twist. You know, now that I don't totally agree with. It does recede at a point. Sometimes you have to tell the game to twist its nipple back. You know? How come? Oh, because it's not 100% constructed. I thought it was done being constructed. It's 90. So you transport gems. Ooh. Here. See if that do her. Rebels, oh no! This region has had enough of your mistreatment and has declared independency from your tyrannical rule. I don't know about that. Well, here's very happy. What? My tyrannical rule, eh? See no rebels. Figured they'd be up here, but... Well, looks like we're gonna get some combat soon. That's fun. There we go. Let's see if those fill up. Seem to be. Nobody's particularly interested in joining the military currently. There we go. Now we're actually making jewelry. Good. What kind of lunch did I get? I got, so I have this stuff that's kind of amazing. It's a cashew cheese spread, but it's kind of like the texture. It's like a thicker cream cheese. So I have some of that. So I had some of that in a sandwich with cucumber. Cheese. And you're very lost? Well, I'm just simply stating that people are used to mainstream video games or modern video games gently caressing their nutsack as they learn, whereas Dwarf Fortress just beats you in the groin until you submit and learn to play it. I was using a very silly analogy for... I was using, like, a femdom BDSM analogy for learning Dwarf Fortress. That's what I was doing. I'm in a weird mood today. Don't take what I'm saying too seriously, chat room. I mean, you can if you want, but we may all regret that if I do. We got that stuff now. Let's unlock court. We now have the Court of Law unlocked. It's just very funny to join the stream and hear that statement. I mean, that happens quite frequently. It's just like when somebody tuned into my stream recently and I was poking myself in the eye and they're just like, what are you doing? Tuning into my stream and hearing a weird thing straight away is not exactly uncommon. You once asked on the DF board about how to disable children because they made your game run slow after a while. And the first replies were how to mutilate children to make them disabled. I mean, you can turn on Dwarven contraception. That's a lot more efficient. They're just like, oh, so you put these weapons, right? You fire out these bolts, put them in front of a ballista, and... I hate it, but that's wonderful. And oh my god, it smells? Like as in now you need bacon or like bacon stanky? Thanks, Cooler. Also, I'll have you know, I forwarded that that clip that you took of me saying that I would eat a shoe if the Dwarf Fortress Premium Edition doesn't release this year. So I forwarded that over to Kitfox, and their response was, it very well might, but you may also need a shoe, so get a small shoe. So I've been informed that I need to acquire a small shoe, just for like safety's sake. So I don't know. You guys may get to watch me eat a small shoe on New Year's of this year. Let's trade. This is my trade. It's being being sent out. I'm just trading with Pudge. Seriously, though, where are these rebels? Guess they haven't spawned on the map yet. You're gonna chip your teeth if it's bronze. Make sure it's all natural leather. Well, there's a place that I know that makes custom cakes, so I could get a cupcake shaped shoe, or a shoe shaped cupcake rather, which is absolutely what I'm. Or I'll get like a gummy shoe or something. You can buy those. You know what might actually be worse than eating a shoe? Is like putting your foot into a shoe-shaped cake. Like just like insert foot into shoe-shaped cake. That's probably somebody's fetish. I'm not gonna lie. That has to be a thing. All right. Well, we are actually making our own jewelry now. It's just going to take 11 billion years. I wonder if it's it's probably profitable to import gems and sell jewelry, right? I mean, that's the sell price of jewelry. I think I might try and do that, actually. Let's import gems and sell jewelry. Isn't that the point of taking a bath, though, is getting wet? Axon? Or did I miss something here? The point of a bath is to make everything else wet? You mean the point of a bad or the point of a bath? I like a nice bad once in a while. Yeah, we need to summon Michael Jackson to give us a nice bad to make everything else wet. That is one of the better typos I've seen today. Putting it out there. Oh no, all these children are starving. That's unfortunate. Who's bad? Fruit. Whoop. Whoop. We must be connected. I found my culprit. Whoop. And poop. What a fucking word salad you just said. Isn't that like 80% of my streams, like, menu though, is variations of word salad? Almost like when children start starving to death, people get upset. We've gone from 99% loyalty down to 88 because children are starving to death. I mean, like, they're only children. They're not doing anything useful yet. Everybody's so upset. They'll get my commission done once you're done with your current one because you did pick another one up and they did pretty well too. They paid pretty well too. You need more though because people didn't return the money they owe you. I mean, I paid you the money I owe you. Didn't realize there was so much competition for your services though, Cooler. I mean, that's a good thing though. Also, for whatever it's worth, I'm not in a huge rush to get that stuff back, so, like, take your time, dude. I'm not losing sleep if I don't get my, my new art commissions immediately. That is fine. I'm gonna run out of workers in, like, immediately. You'd rather word poutine? What about word pizza? Which means you're skipping on bills this month? Dude, I really wish I was a bigger streamer so I could just, like, sit here and be like, here's Cooler's PayPal. Let's play the Fund the Artist video game. Everybody chip in $1 and then bang. Only 1 month? That's quite a lot, dude. Your monthly gas bill go up by more than that? I mean, what's a gas bill? Almost a genuine question. Yeah, fair. Everybody's suddenly so upset. It's almost like their children are dying right now, so they're very upset with me because of that. Let's turn down the number of workers on the farm, increase the number of workers in here. Or not on the farm, on the mines, and get them working on that. And also get this housing done. Farming efficiency is what we want. It's 125 to increase fruit farming. People and their kids, right? I'm just sitting here losing all of my loyalty. But the people who don't like them are getting happier. So, you know, that's the benefits with the negatives. One died of something. Oh, someone got murdered. Well, that's great. Brilliant. Just means they get to watch more people stab each other to death or sacrifice them in the temples. You can delay the pay of the months without any... Oh, okay, that's not so bad. But I know how much I paid you for Art Cooler. I can only afford to do that about once every other month, so. Although I have to pay taxes soon, which is going to be like probably about 3 months of rent worth of money, so I need to save. Feeling when commissions are expensive? Cooler sometimes seems shocked by how much I pay him, but every now and again he's like, "Why'd you give me so much?" It's like, "'Cause that's what I owe you." That's how much your art's worth, damn it. They can buy their own food? Well, that's... Jeez. How little do people pay for cooler? I don't know, like a mini fridge is like 60 bucks, so... But pay for art. Pay money for art. So that digital artists don't need to fucking mint NFTs to scrounge together cash. What, minimum wage standard? Well, cooler's in Russia. Look up the cost of living in Russia versus the cost of living to the US dollar in Vancouver. I had a fight with someone about commissions. I pay Cooler the same that I would pay any artist anywhere. Doesn't matter where you're located. Art's worth the same amount to me. Although I often pay Cooler a little bit less what I would pay, say, somebody from Silicon Valley or LA. Because I can't afford to pay more than that. I mean, you'd make a lot of money, potentially. If people bought in. Otherwise, you'd spend a lot of money on Ethereum. Although Ethereum's on sale right now, so... that whole marketplace is currently crashing, so I don't know. I mean, yeah, draw like lizard lewds. Draw titties, and you'll make lots of money. That's... No, you got a fucking banger-ass deal. That's super cheap art. That is extremely cheap. Oswix. Like, you ripped that person off. That's my take on that. If you're paying someone... Or okay, so to whoever commissioned that... If something takes 40 hours to make and you're only paying them the equivalent of $10 USD an hour, that's fucked. That's specialized work. People just don't... yeah, okay, so then I agree with you. People, I mean, I wouldn't get into an argument over that, but like... People undervalue art. To an offensive degree. Like someone who used to frequent this channel who did art commissions for a while he was in uni, who hasn't been by the channel in years, but this person sent me a screenshot once of somebody who was offering him TF2 hats for branding. He was a streamer who streamed TF2, and he's just like, "Here's a bunch of hats in TF2." He's like, number one, all of those 4 hats combined is only worth $30, and that's like not even half of enough to cover this commission. He's like, and literally this was the dude's wording, which is very funny in today's context. These hats are from a unique event that just happened. Their value is currently very low, but the value will go up because they are a limited drop. So literally just like, I'm gonna pay you in penny stocks. Which is just like, what? So, like, I've seen shit like that before. Anyway, the guy didn't get his art that he commissioned, even though the artist drew it. Yeah, no, Cooler, also, you're generally really quick with the art that you do for me, so, like, You really don't have like a commission timeline? I don't care. They will go up, I swear, yeah. I mean, although to be fair, if somebody offered me a Bored Ape for free right about now, I'd probably take it. Or as payment for a thing, I'd probably take it. And sell it immediately. But if somebody offered me like a NFT as payment for a thing that was worth like nothing, my response would be, fuck off! At the time, getting painting exposure probably would have helped the guy more. Although I also kind of pay Cooler and exposure, because, like, you know, all of my art is done by Cooler. That's exposure. Done. If you want art, DM Cooler_SK on my Discord server, and he can sort out some art for you. Animated or otherwise. And if you really like it, you could mint it as a fucking NFT. Don't do that, though. You do non-furry lewds. Well, there you go. He'll even draw you non-furry lewds. You can add the fur later. All you need is, like, take the lewd, right? Put it on your computer monitor, and then take a pom-pom or, like, a cotton ball and just put it on that. Like, tape it to the screen, and then bam. There's your furry lewds. Or just take, like, I don't know, like, a wool cap and just, like, glue it to then it's furry. Done. Right? That's how that works. Oh, furry non-lewds. Okay. I did read it wrong. Still funny, though. If you commission art from somebody and it's your art and you own the right, like I commission art from Cooler, right? So when Cooler gives me the art, I own it, right? So I can do what I want with it. So theoretically, you could commission art from somebody and then mint it as an NFT. You could do that, yeah. Just like, you know, you could commission art from somebody, frame it, and put it in an art exhibit. Like, silly, but... Yeah, unless there's, like, a specific agreement in the thing that you can't resell it. Unless, like, the artist specifies you cannot resell this commission. Otherwise, you can do whatever you want with it. But technically, I'm selling commissions that I've gotten from Cooler, right? I sell my emotes. Those were commissioned from Cooler. Sure. But you still could do it. There's also, like, what I think is ridiculous, which is, like, minting an NFT for personal use. You could also theoretically do something like that. But yeah, you could absolutely commission art from somebody with the intention of minting it. Assuming that is agreed upon in advance as part of the commission. Wouldn't be any issue with that, I don't think. That things cost extra? Oh, absolutely. No, I'm well aware of that. But my statement still stands. Like, you can absolutely commission art and then sell it. It has to be in the agreement in advance. It's just like I've commissioned art for t-shirts before. With the intention of selling it. Depends on what the art is. Oswix. And how much it's going to sell for as well. But the reason I'm against NFTs and the current use of NFTs is I really dislike the commodification of art. I think that commodifying art is kind of gross. I think that if you like art from an artist, you should purchase art from the artist and pay them so they can continue producing more art. Whereas when people buy art as an investment, it's just kind of a waste. I think that if you enjoy something or somebody's work, you should pay them to create more of that thing. People should be in horny prison. Cooler. Hey, I mean, you sell me... I pay $20 a pop for thumbnails. That's pretty good. Considering some of them never get used. I paid more than $10 for this guy. That's not too uncommon. It's Bob Ross, dude. When Bob Ross first started, there was like 100,000 people watching Bob Ross. So, like, all you need is some big channel to be like, let's raid Bob Ross. And then Bob Ross has lots of views again. There's no such thing as free art. Oh no, our Master of Minds has passed away. His position is now vacant. Sad. Man, you are one ugly motherfucker. You're also going to be our Master of Minds, because you're a dwarf. I mean, I think I've been telling you to charge more for years, Cooler. Like, legit, I seem to recall telling you that before, and you just send me, like, a suspect emote. You squint at me. Realistically, Cooler, you should charge $20 per emote, and I like my returning customer rate of $20 per thumbnail, but I already spend more money on art every month than I make off of YouTube, so. It is cheap. Normal pricing from, like, higher-end artists is like $50 to $100 an emote. Like, the guy that I used to buy emotes from before he went off and decided to be a hentai artist and actually make lots of money, he used to charge $35 an emote, and that was cheap at the time. So, like, yeah, Cooler has needed to up his pricing for a while. Hey, H2O, what up? What was that video? Fuck you, pay me? I don't believe I know what video you're referring to, H2O. I mean, I'm not going to call out people in particular, but I know people that have spent $100 on an emote. Like, once you've drawn emotes for large streamers and you kind of have that in your portfolio, you can be like, I did the emote for this person, and this person. You can, like, crank up your rates. Like, I've encountered, like, I've gotten quotes from artists previously on Twitch where it's like, $50 an emote is not uncommon. But I think that something Cooler needs to do really badly is Cooler needs a portfolio or a blog. Like, literally just post all of the work that you do and point people at it and be like, this is the work that I do. This is the size and scale of streamers that I've done work for, and you can charge more. But also, you know, selling stuff cheaper gives you kind of like a bargain bin pricing structure, which also kind of attracts customers. So being cheap also has its benefits. I mean, what does it have to do with quality? It has to do with, like, their cost of living, right? Like, I was talking to my team the other day after we recorded a podcast, and one of them, I won't say who, was commenting about not making enough the past month, and basically stating like, well, they did really well a couple months previously, so it didn't matter so much. But like January's been really slow, and they were like, well, if January was this slow every year, then they wouldn't be able to stream full. Or if every month was as slow as January, they wouldn't be able to stream full time. And I asked how much they made, and it was about twice what I made so far this month. And I told them like what my cost of living is versus their cost of living, and it's literally like it depends on what your cost of living is. Like for me, it's like if I get about $1,000 a month off of Twitch plus what I'm currently making on Patreon, I'm fine. Like I'm fine, and that's like nothing compared to normal people. Like there's like a lot for like being under $2,000 a month for living is nothing for where I live. It is very common for people to require significantly larger amounts of money, but it's all like about living within your means, right? Your rent is already $1,000. My in US dollars, my rent's about 680 in US dollars. In Canadian, it's 900, but I'm talking in USD because that's what I get paid in, right? Need to do math to put that into square footage because my apartment's in square footage and I can never quite remember. My apartment's bigger than that. Like more than twice that size, I think. You could probably live off of $1,600 a month. I lived off of about 1,300, less than 1,300 a month for about a year and a half. It was about $800 a paycheck, before taxes. That was assuming I got a full week of shifts. So it was about 1,600 capped, assuming I got the full week of shifts, and I didn't always get the full week of shifts. So I think we can just, like, crank up the game speed and just sit here and work on this. I spend far less than that last week's. You'd be looking at 2,600 minimum. I did that amount once last year. That was November because Navy went kind of insane. But I like how this stream often turns into like a frugal living stream. Like just discussing like living frugally. It's kind of a regular subject of conversation. Like today. I'm extremely good at not spending money on takeout food. Like it's something that I'm way too good at. It's not spending money on food. The problem is I end up like neglecting my health because I get so budgety on food. And then I splurge on food. So. Building another eatery up here. Well, you should work on paying those off. Don't worry too much about me, Orange. It's too lazy to get your ass out of the house some days. I'm too concerned about going outside some days. Like, we had one of the biggest, like, since pandemic started outbreaks at the hospital that's very close to me. So I'm just, like, kind of going, I don't really want to go outside unless I need to. Yeah, and the thing that I always need to remind people is I'm considered extremely immunocompromised. So it's because people are vaccinated, so symptoms are not as bad. At least I would think. Swigs. I mean, I've had booster too, but it doesn't change the fact that I really don't want to get sick. Not much has really changed in that regard. Yeah. I mean, like, I went for a walk yesterday. There's kind of like, I'd say about 3 groups of people. There's people like me that are still very cautious. Then there's people who are just seem to have forgotten that it's a concern. And then there's people that never cared to begin with. Definitely like in this point it feels like. I mean, can you blame them, Oswix? Unfortunately, it's like some people get to... Unfortunately, this is gonna be the mean thing to say. Unfortunately, some people think that just because they don't care if they get sick, that other people also don't care if they get sick. That's the actual problem that I have. Is now there's just like I you know, honestly, if somebody wants to like not take this shit seriously and do whatever, fucking more power to you. Fuck off. Leave me alone. But it's when those people then stop being even remotely considerate for people who want to still be a little cautious. And we're way past that point. And that point sucks and I hate it. That's the actual thing that drives me nuts. See, like that's what I mean. And that's even more so why. I mean, like I was telling my friend Kevin last night, I save money during the pandemic because like other people force me to stay inside because they aren't even remotely considerate for other people's well-being, just their own. What is that? Oh, this is the alcohol shipment. Check this out. Those are just full of booze. Number of starving children has gone down. Gotta be a good thing, right? This is normal now, as lame as it is? Yep. Yep. And it means that officially the only things that I can do as a person for fun now are go snowshoeing on off days when I can book the bus, because that requires double vaccination cards to get on it, and you have to wear a mask to get on the bus, and they have security on the bus. The only other thing I can really do for fun now is go for walks and smoke weed, because like everything else, half the people don't take shit seriously anymore. Like I'm selling my concert tickets. Like anybody who's been around this channel for a long time probably knows that literally the only thing I like to do for fun is go to concerts. It's literally the only thing I do for fun. And yeah, I've sold some concert tickets or refunded them because like I'm not going to be able to go to a lot of those shows. It's like, if they happen at this point, it's too much of a risk for it to be worth it for me. And if they don't happen, then, well, they're just going to get canceled anyway. Like, I was hopeful as of October last year that we might be, like, at the tail end of shit, but nah. Not even fucking close. I'm just, you know, thankful that I get to do a job where I get to work from home. And, you know, honestly, if I didn't have type 1 diabetes and I still had confidence in my immune system, I'd probably be one of those people that was just like, it's kind of saying fuck it and just going back to normal. I probably would be one of those people right about now. In fact, I almost know I would be. You know, I'll say this, right, Oswix? For anybody who lives alone, surviving this shit now, it's really fucking difficult. And dealing with this shit really sucks. Anybody who lives with a partner is either now divorced or has a better relationship than ever with their partner because they've been locked inside in a small box with them for a very long time, thus resulting in a significantly stronger relationship, most likely. So, it's just, if you had family that you lived with previously that you got along with, you probably get along with them way better now. And if you've been single throughout this shit, you're just kind of completely fucked. Kind of wish that there was a bridge button. There really isn't, like, bridges. One of the things I'd really like to see implemented in this game. Good for you, Oswix. Glad it works for somebody. Moving to a bigger flat saved your marriage? Well, I'm glad that it saved your marriage, and I hope that it's doing better than ever. Keeping a marriage functional in the current year is difficult. I mean, like, just from my pool of people in Twitch chat, the number of relationships I've seen fail in the last year because of all this crap is, like, kind of off the charts. It's like, I do have a pretty big pool of people that I get to speak with on a daily basis, right? Which isn't something that a lot of people get. I get to talk to maybe more people on the average day than most. So. I mean, I could move to, let's see, there's a lot of I could move to Russia, cooler. I could move to Mexico. I could move to, what do you call it? I could move to, like, almost anywhere in South America. I vastly disagree, as I don't speak the language. You'd melt in Mexico? This is true. I mean, here's the thing, cooler. I don't have, like, that many problems with my expenses. Like, I have to be frugal to live, but, like, I'm doing okay. Like, I'm saving money. That's better than, like, the majority of people who live in this area or this part of the world. So I wouldn't say necessarily that I need to be too concerned about that. Oh, probably. Here's the actual thing. I'm not gonna move anywhere because I don't want to move anywhere. I like living in Canada, and I'm gonna fucking stay here. I like being close to family. That's more important and valuable to me than having cheaper rent. And my rent isn't that expensive. Everybody can always make more money. And everybody could always have cheaper expenses, but it's necessarily valuable. Rather than someone in Japan. I mean, hey. That's like a hop, skip, and a jump from where you're at, if I recall correctly where you're at, Oswick. I mean, Cooler, for whatever it's worth, right now my current goal is to set up the Halcyon Frequency podcast so that it makes money so that we can pay Bellinair to show up for it. That's the current goal. Like, it's not... Most of my goals right now are not necessarily make me more money. Most of my goals are like, how can I just expand my team's reach? And how can I expand my own reach? Mostly so that I don't need to try and goat people into giving me money, which I do sometimes feel like I need to do. Fortunately, not super frequently. Often enough that, like, when I have, like, 2 or 3 slow months in a row and I have to, like, try and, like, not bake people, not guilt people. I'm trying to think of, like, the right word of, like, what I feel like I have to do, but not guilting people. It's, like, coaxing people into giving me money, if that makes any sense. Whenever I have to do that, I almost always feel bad. Fortunately, I'm good, because Navy was very generous this month, but that's not always a thing that I'm lucky enough to receive. You know? Remind people, encourage. There you go, encourage. That's a good word. That's a good word. Because, like, at the end of the day, like, I have the coolest job in the world, but I live off of the generosity of other people because I refuse to let Raid Shadow Legends pay me off. Because I teach English there? That seems like a logical reason to live in Japan. I have, like, you know, I would love to visit Japan. I do not understand people's obsession with Japan. I deal with enough, like, racism against white people where I live here in Canada. I don't need to live in Japan. Like, I'm good. Thanks, I have to deal with enough discrimination already. Just because I live in a part of town that has a very large East Indian population. I dealt with a lot of that shit at my old job. I don't need to deal with that in Japan as well. I don't need to be a Baka Gaijin. You feel fairly de-weebed? Well, I mean, fucking, like, anime is not Japan. And I think a lot of people don't maybe pretend to not realize that. I mean, it's a beautiful fucking country. I have no desire to live there, though. Pictures of Japan are wonderful. I wish Canada had, like, trains that were that efficient, but... Alright, we only need 20 more jewelry. Hey, Twinge. With a worse work culture than US? Well, I mean, if you're streaming or working for yourself, then, I mean, you can work as much or as little as you want, but yeah, that's also a pretty valid point. That's, so I listen, this is a very, like, like accurate example, but like I know somebody who I listen to a podcast which has a host on it who used to be an English teacher in Japan, and he says the borderline, like complete and total opposite to that. So I don't know whose take is more accurate because I don't know any teachers from Japan personally, but listening to what that person had to say about being a teacher for a while an English teacher for a while in Japan didn't sound like it was the greatest gig. So I mean, sure. Like, I'm sure that there's elements of truth to what you're saying, but like, it's not exactly what I've heard. So, have you ever played this game, Twinge? I can't tell if you play anything aside from Storybook Brawl these days. This game's pretty great. If you guys don't know Twinge, does really good chill streams. If you like the kind of vibes that I have, you'd probably like his streams too. Although the storybook stuff seems to be working out, so. Our high school English teacher was from Japan, and he said it beats countries like the USA. Well, I mean, like, the USA doesn't value teachers, like, just period. So, like, that doesn't surprise me. Well, I'm not even talking, like, see here, I'm not even talking about work-life balance. Like, I have a terrible work-life balance. I work and I don't have a life. But that's because I have no social life. But the reason I have a terrible work-life balance isn't because, like, of work culture. The reason I have a terrible work-life balance is because I get manic and can't do anything else. And also, there's literally nothing else to do in the world currently. Let's give them a bathhouse. Help this region. Got all these people hanging around up here. Gave them toilets and all this stuff. We're giving them more housing. On miscellaneous stuff, and then new and old indies, so the storybook focus should be pretty broken up soon. Okay, gotcha. Well, I mean, I trust me, I'm no stranger to the, hey, play the thing that gets a lot of traffic right now while it lasts for a bit to kind of, like, regain audience that has vanished over the years. I fully understand that. Like, I definitely streamed War Tales a couple of times more than I should have because I was just bringing in follows. Sometimes you gotta get into the system if it's working. How's that temple coming along? Working on it slowly. I have, like, no gems supply on this map at all. Building some things take forever. Any particular games you need to hit? Or are wanting to hit, Twinge? Also, thanks, Hobo. All a balancing act between your own sanity and momentum and what viewers like. Yeah. Yeah. Like, there's certain types of games that I love streaming, but I just kind of can't because people don't want to watch them. Even if they pretend they want to watch them, they don't actually want to watch them. I just realized that there's a slaughter all button on livestock. Also, Katsu, I don't think I said hi to you. What's up? You'd love to spend a year in Germany? You know, I think that there's a big difference between saying that I want to move to another country and, like, get citizenship and stay there, and I want to stay somewhere for an extended period of time. Because I would love to go to Japan or Korea for, like, 6 months. But I wouldn't want to live there permanently. Like, I wouldn't want to go get a job there and stay there. Like, just like I would love to go to Finland for a couple of months. I think that would be amazing, actually. But again, I wouldn't want to move there. Teaching in the Netherlands and Germany would be much better than Japan. There's a lot of countries that you'll have a better time in, just culturally, than Japan. But Japan is a beautiful country with some absolutely wonderful history and some amazing artwork and museums and arcades and things I would love to see, but culturally, I'd never want to live in Japan. So you don't know what you'll be playing? Okay. Is revisit lists or fair game? Gotcha. Not importing steel, right? Okay. Actually, hold on. Smithy. Metal smelter. That's what we need. Need refining level tier 2. Might need, Oh, no, I don't. Okay, cool. Not gonna need a huge shop for this. Let's put the auxiliary furnace in there. Storage. Can double that if need. What am I doing? Need to crank the capacity of that mine back up pretty soon. It's almost 1 a.m. You have a good night, Auspix. Thanks for hanging out, dude. No? So... gonna take the very small amounts of ore that we get. That takes metal and turns them into that. Here's the question, though. What do I do? What do I do with this ore, though? Has no... Oh, it's no practical use. Okay. I guess I can just sell it, then. Let's see if people are buying. Hey, they are. Or rather, doesn't seem like they are, but maybe they will. How hard is it to get into this game? You've looked a bit at the demo, but you couldn't really gauge it. It's not hard. But you're also asking somebody who tells people that Dwarf Fortress is an easy game. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm a good chat. To anybody who's played this game, how hard is it to learn? I need like a bigger pool than my take, because to me it was kind of easy. But like, there's some very obtuse UI that's like kind of makes zero logical sense when you first eyeball it, but makes a lot of sense after a bit. So I don't know. I didn't find it to be particularly difficult. I'm really curious to see what this does to general happiness. Question is do I know who you are? So it's definitely been a minute. Did you have a different username before? I mean, last time you were here was 2019. But it has been a minute. This is true. Oh, you used to be Minecraft lover? Okay, I know who you are. It's just like, did you change your username? Because, like, I don't recognize that name at all. Well, actually, I do know a Bryce. I do actually know a Bryce. But I don't recognize your name at all, so. I mean, we could figure out exactly how many minutes it's been, because I have the exact timestamp on day when they spoke in 2019. It's been a couple of minutes. At least 25. Let's wait until that last piece of jewelry is done. Hey, we are now building this temple. I've been working on this all day. I used to know somebody named Bryce, and I haven't talked to him since, like, fuck, wait. I was still working nights, so probably pre-2017. Since 4 a.m. your time? Well, if it's been a really long time, go to bed. Go get some sleep. You mostly suck on the combat? I mean, I can help you with the combat if you need help with that. But in regards to this game, like, it's not that bad. I mean, this is one of those games where, like, being self-sufficient is pretty easy, and recovering from battles is also pretty easy. It's more like just like, what does this particular group of people need to be happy, and then figuring out what that is. And once you figure out what that is, it's not too difficult to keep them happy. And then it's just a matter of, like, slowly expanding at a logical rate so that you, like, don't have an explosion of population, but you can still support everything. So, I don't know. This game, to me, feels pretty natural and not, like, the most difficult to get into. And the combat's not too bad. If you've played a Total War game, the combat's not too bad. The hard part about this game is just, like, learning bits and pieces of the UI. Hey, Rory. How goes the SOS? Save Our Souls is going pretty good. It's being pretty good. We finally finished the temple, or built the temple that I've been trying to build all day today. You quite like Banished? No. This game is kind of like a mashup of Pharaoh, if you ever played any of the Impressions games. The dev claims Dungeon Keeper, but I have yet to really see much Dungeon Keeper. So, like, Pharaoh, if Pharaoh was kind of mashed into a god game, sort of. Like, the city building is very much that style of city building. Like, the walkers and, like, people have to carry things from place to place. But, like, everybody also has, like, their own needs, right? Based on the race and age that they are, so... it's more complicated than Pharaoh. But, so yeah, the city building is a lot like Pharaoh. The combat is a lot like a very light version of Total War. It's going to get expanded. It's working on a combat update that'll come out at some point. But, like, this game also kind of doesn't take itself super seriously. Like, there's literally a thing on the I'll deal with that in a sec. There's literally a thing on the roadmap that's just hookers and blow, which is, in brackets, brothels and drugs. So this game literally is going to add hookers and blow, which I think is kind of hilarious. Limond, thank you very much for the 5th month. Welcome back. Good to have you. Cheers. Thanks for keeping that sub alive. Ample respect. I don't know what they need sacrificed. What do they need sacrifices? This temple sacrifices ore. Oh, okay. All right, so I should stop exporting that shit, is what you're telling me, game. We're going to keep importing gems and then exporting jewelry. Yes, but there's like a major element of Dungeon Keeper that I don't see here. The whole, you're evil, and things come to stop you from being evil. There isn't too much in the way of like opposing enemy threats, even if you crank raids all the way up to maximum. So that's kind of the part that doesn't really click in my brain, that it's like Dungeon Keeper. But I also haven't played Dungeon Keeper in like over a decade. Not the main point of Dungeon Keeper. That's what I remember being the main point of Dungeon Keeper. But I was like, I haven't played Dungeon Keeper in decades, so I don't know. Really curious to see how much of a population this gets me once I gain some sacrificing respect. Hit jackpot and disco dance forever. I do remember things dancing. I need to play Dungeon Keeper again. It's been a goddamn long time. There we go. We've sacrificed 3 things and the temple has respect. Means should keep people happy. Ish. Also, since we planted all these extra fruit farms up here, the children haven't been starving. But the elves have been a bit happier. They weren't really happy with me when all their kids were dying of starvation. I mean, blame them, but... Yeah, this also seems to be helping. Now that the temple to their god has been built. So I've got, this is the ore sacrificing temple that sacrifices fancy metal. This is the animal sacrificing temple that sacrifices livestock. And this one sacrifices prisoners. And then they get turned into Lunchables, which is excellent. We should also build a bigger arena. That's 3,000 of these. I'm currently producing null of. Although, apparently, I have 0 of them somehow. Exporting those? Oh. I still have 0 of them. But yeah, I don't think this game's that bad. Like, like, maybe if the only game we've ever played is Call of Duty, this is probably a pretty tricky learning curve. But if you're even remotely, like, familiar with city builders, that's not... kind of a cakewalk in a lot of ways. So we've got 4 jewelry for sale. No buyers. Well, that sucks. This region's had enough of your, okay. A rebel army has spawned. Another one. Allegedly 2 of them now. Yet neither of them attacked me, and I haven't found either of them on the map, so can't be too much of a threat. If they actually like siege me, I'll fight them. I kind of wish that there was like a zoom to button, because like it really give you that much information as to where they are actively at. That's like asking, are modern hiking boots different than moccasins? Axon? Just Google snowshoes. Just Google, like, nicer snowshoes currently. TLDR, yes, of course. There we go. Spec is higher. Perfect. Was different kinds of minions that you could get, and they had different preferences and different needs and different personalities, and you had to manage them, and all of the different guys essentially work together. Sure, but well, the point was like, then you have to like play the tower defense game of stopping things from attacking you. That's the other half. So like this has the part where like everybody is like, you have a bunch of different species and they all have different needs. Has that, but there isn't much of the other part of that, which is the, you know, you're the bad guys that everybody's trying to stop. Also, I know that you're talking about Dungeon Keeper chat, but to me that just reads as Donkey Kong. And so in my headcanon, the main point of Donkey Kong is for the monsters to hit a jackpot and disco dance forever. That's my headcanon now. Do I just have like no storage allowed for these things? Can't be the thing. Yeah, supposedly I should have like a large number or a large amount of those. Zoom. I have lots of rock to clear now. There's too few builders available to perform this job. I mean, it's definitely too few bricks. I got 0. We need 3,000. But they're already bringing bricks, so I clearly must have more than 0. The game is telling me that I have 0, but I don't think that that's accurate. I think it's because I have 0 storage space for them. Mm-hmm. Yep. Definitely just hit 0 storage space. Also, now that I've given you a minute to research on your own time, Axon, my snowshoes, for example, have a flap that you can flip up underneath your ankle, so that if you're walking up a steep hill, instead of like really hurting your ankles because it's gonna twist them every time you take a step, especially if you're wearing thicker hiking boots, instead of twisting your ankle with every step, you instead stand on like almost a platform at the back of it, and it's like walking on flat ground up a hill instead of having to like put pressure on your ankles every time you take a step. Modern snowshoes have adjustable spikes, so you can like climb hills easier and stuff like that. There's lots of things that modern snowshoes have that older snowshoes don't. They also have more moving parts that are easier to break in regards to modern snowshoes. I mean, I could swap this over to armor. Which I can do for a little bit. It's easier than making my own. I can afford it. Enough trade goods. Also, since we're a little bit quiet right now, chat, I'm just gonna take the opportunity to say, if you're looking for other things to listen to that I work on, I've been putting a lot of work into the podcast that me and my stream team are hosting. So if you want to help me out, seriously, go leave that podcast a review on any of the podcast platforms that you can leave reviews, because it is gratefully helpful. Especially if you happen to have an iPhone, because then it's very easy to leave a review on a podcast. I'm working on an arena. This is a lot of nurseries I'm making. Because the game has, well, not super nerfed, but nerfed immigrants quite a bit in this as of late. So in order to really get a lot of population, you have to grow them yourself, which is kind of disgusting if you ask me, but definitely like something that you have to do, unfortunately. I've never done rowing, no. I did, however, sprint kayak, which is really funny because sprint kayakers hate being called rowers because everybody assumes that a kayaker is a rower. So no, I've never done rowing, but I have done sprint kayaking. How was it? I went to Canada Summer Games twice. I was always like not great, but I was just good enough that I was a threat. So the result was I got bullied very heavily. So I actually, some of the people that I used to kayak with went to the Olympics this past year for the Summer Games as part of Team Canada. But yeah, I got bullied pretty heavily because I was just fast enough to be and good enough to be a threat, but like not really good enough to really win. So I just kind of got mentally beaten into the ground by the other kids because they didn't want me to get better or actually become a threat. So I dealt with a lot of harassment from other kids, so not a lot of fond memories, but some fond memories. Why do you ask? I think I should make these guys a eatery. Canteen. Shame kids on your team are assholes? It's just called kids. All kids are assholes. Yeah, no, I've never done any rowing. I've done sprint kayaking, a little bit of whitewater kayaking, and that's it. Never done rowing. Man, you get armor imported real fast when you start importing armor. I'm like really curious about how many blocks I have now. I'm gonna build another one of these guys real quick. Which should get put together pretty quick. Once it gets put together, I'm going to set it to take those blocks from here and ship them over to that stockpile up top. But yeah, kayaking was a very mixed portion of my life. It was extremely good in some ways and some of the best experiences I ever got to do. Some of the coolest trips I ever got to go on was through kayaking. But also, like, on the flip side, it was some of the worst experiences of my life, so it was kind of just mixed like that. I don't know. I've always been the weird kid, so I would always get singled out when there was groups of kids. So that was always kind of tough, but nothing I couldn't handle. I mean, I survived. It did kind of, like, me leaving kayaking was probably the worst part of it, because when I did finally just kind of say fuck it and quit, it was very much a violent quitting. But that's all it really was just an extension of high school. At the end of the day. So this is going to ship up to here. I wish it would pop that screen back up. Oh yeah, of course, children. Cool. All right, well. It's kind of a slow hill, but whenever it fills, they'll ship all the way over to here. Also, not surprised about this at all, but pretty sure that the most popular platform for the podcast is Spotify. So, probably where I'm going to be staring for the majority of my metrics going forward.
Hobo, stop kicking me out of the top 3 URs.
Welcome back to the top 3, Rory. Unfortunately, like, there's only 2 spots that people can reasonably compete for in the top 3. Currently. Same with gift subs. There's only 2 spots that you can reasonably compete for. Sometimes just, like, Navy has to prove that he's the heavyweight champion here. It's true for both leaderboards. Yeah. Hey, I mean, it's not too difficult to compete for number 2. But the week's almost over, though. It resets on Monday. But also, don't feel the need to compete for it, right? Because, like, well, number 1, I know that you're moving potentially soon and your rent's gonna go up. But also, like, okay this month, because Navy just, like, saved me. I mean, Navy just does it all in one go, right? Did that even put you back up into the spot above him, Hobo? Oh, I see. You just went for the exact same number. I was like, but that didn't even, like... You're still one behind, dude. Hobo wants to fight on the beach. You know, honestly, of, like, all the places that you could fight, that's not too bad. Oh, no, another murder case. Damn it. Man, that's quite the murder. There's only half of them. We only found half of the body. There you go. I mean, it's fine. We need murders. Because then we put them in the prison, and then they get sacrificed to elder gods in this temple. So, I mean, it's fine. Also, this guy's not dead. He's just worshipping. Naturally, by planking. By going into the starfish position. It makes snow angels to worship the god of splat. Wait, who's beautiful, Rory? Is Hobo beautiful for fighting you on the beach? Or for me saying, like, don't compete? You know, as I told my dad relatively recently, if I was good at asking people for money, I would have worked in sales. I'm surprised that those so-called rebels haven't come and sieged us yet. This is just shocking to me.
This makes it easier. Sorry, Darren.
Rip, Darren. Thanks for the $1, Rory. I mean, no, not Rip, Darren. Darren supported the stream very heavily today. Thanks for the $3, Hobo. Because this is Sparta.
This is Sparta!
Oh, also, you know what I learned the other day, Rory? Is that the streamer can start hype trains in their own chat if you gift a sub anonymously. Normally, gifting subs in your own chat doesn't count towards trains, but if you gift them anonymously, it does. Which I think's, like, fucked up, but also kind of awesome. I learned that because Navy, like, went Navy and did what Navy does and did the 100 gift subs and the $250 in bits. And I was just like, well, this has to be Hype Train because there wasn't anybody around to, like, Hype Train it. So I gifted a sub to make it turn into one. It kind of is, yeah. It kind of is. Oh man, a bunch of people must have died of old age or something, because I don't... I have too few idle workers. Or maybe it's just because, like, I'm trying to feed so many infants. Thanks for the $1.30 audio. Cheers, man. Crypt, Zoom. Chat, can I get a round of beers for people being silly with the piles of pennies in my chat? While we just like... I wonder what depicts the color. It's like these ones are all like blue. And then the lower ones down here are all pink. Maybe it's age. Maybe... Actually, that's probably what it is. Okay, so I'm guessing like pink ones are babies and blue ones are children. And I guess maybe based on how old they are. You're 0. You're also 0. I guess like the color of their wrappings are the age at which they are. Interesting. Neat little detail. So have I ever successfully sold jewelry? I must have, because there's only 3 for sale now. I'm going to stop bringing the lizard people because they just piss everybody else off by existing. It's kind of sad. Like, you bring in the lizard people and then everyone else is like, oh god, lizards! It's like, come on. I don't know. Trying to think, what do I kind of need here? Build us a canteen. Oh, what? No. Oh, that I'm not bringing in lizard people? Oh, well, I mean. Nobody else likes them, so. It sucks, but it's the truth. Pretty much, Cooler, yeah. Pretty much. So, Chad, here's the important question. Is that hype train going to hit the end of level 1 and get towards working towards level 2? Because we're still technically in level 0, and that's the completion rating towards level 1. That's the important question. Regardless, though, thanks for the... Here's Chad. I don't need to egg you guys on too much, like I said earlier. Kind of pretty good for this month now, actually. Better than I thought I would be. Thanks, Hobo, for 10 bucks. I think that means when we play, in like 40 minutes when I swap over to, Earth Defense first, I will grab a beer. That works for you. I started an hour late today, so we were swapping later than I'd planned initially, but it's like, all right, Rory, your turn. You got 30 seconds. Thanks, Hobo, for the $10. Cheers, man.
What I got to do?
What I gotta do? Be up. Thanks, Rory, for the $2. Oh, man. I kind of hate how hype trains work sometimes. I think 500 might have done it. I really wish that they just had like a countdown with what's needed to level it up. What'd you miss? Bits. I suppose. That's what you get for being on your phone. Apparently. Thank you very much for the hype train, though. With almost $20 in bits. 1,952 bits. That's $19.52. Also, I hate to break it to you, Rory, but you're definitely not in second anymore. Round of beers, though, for everybody chucking money into my paycheck. I do greatly appreciate it. Goes a long way. I thought there was a dead person on the floor of this construction site for a second. Turns out it's actually just somebody taking a nap. Actually, it's a child. Well. I mean, I guess that's to be expected because these are all children. Imagine the crying sounds when I forget to feed them. We know who to blame for. Wait, what are we blaming Hobo for? We're not leveling up the hype train? You're the one who messed up from that part. You just had to match him, and then you would have. Probably. Misjudged a little? Microdosed on what? Because that could either be a really fun mistake or a really scary mistake. Like, I'm microdosing ketamine, or are you microdosing psilocybin? Cannabis? Yeah, literally, if he dropped a fiver, it would have leveled up. Speaking of motivation, Tekid, you and me need to reach out to Sal. Because it's basically like you and Sal that are kind of like the tutorial juggernauts for Dwarf Fortress. And maybe like Krug Smash too. I can reach out to Krugs, but just be like, so what's the plan for like Steam TF edition? And also like probably Nucrium as well. It's like you, me, Sal, Nucrium, Krug Smash, and just like figure out like if we could maybe like coordinate tutorials a little bit instead of just like directly competing. We need to do that at some point. Kind of a potent strain? Ugh. I would love to do that. I don't know anything about growing mushrooms though. Needs to show on the train what is needed to level it. Yeah, it absolutely does, yeah. Basically, like, for the level I have it set at, level 1 requires 2,000 bits to level it with just bits. It's either 5 gift subs or 2,000 bits for the level I have it set at. It's 3,000 for level 2. I think it's 3,000 for level 3, and then it goes up from there. So, I don't know. I wish that there was just a pay the rest button. You know, like I wish that, like, this would actually be a really good feature for hype trains, is like if there was just a level up button, which just cheers that many bits. It's like just a level up button that you tap that, and then it's that or gift subs, and it just either automatically buys gift subs or buys that many bits. Yeah, just a level up button. That would just let you pay out the rest. But regardless of how much time would have left, would just do the payment process and cash it out. But I don't know. That would also be kind of dangerous. And as somebody who's like, I don't like guilting people into throwing money at me unless I need to. I don't know if I'd be that okay with that, but... I need to import some pottery. Yeah, just have it be a toggle. Pay the rest. Well, I think TechGood, what we can all agree on is that I just hope that all of us tutorial people on Dwarf Fortress all get a copy of the Steam version early. I mean, obviously, I'd like it for just me to get it, and then like you know, make tutorials, but have like a Let's Play ready to go. But I gotta throw propaganda speakers around everywhere, which I totally forgot about. Another thing that would be kind of fun, TechGood, is if we do all just kind of make the same tutorials, but have like voice parts in each other's tutorials. Like one person makes a tutorial, then another person makes a tutorial, but you hear bits and pieces of each other in each tutorial. That would also be a really efficient way. I mean, yeah, I think we'll all have like here's a how to start a fort tutorial. And here's how to, like, navigate the basic UI. But outside of that, like, I'm probably not going to do too much. Like, realistically, I don't think I'll do too much more outside of basics. I'll probably, like, start remaking the tips videos that I already have, but those are kind of different. My phone just vibrated. Or why? Level up combat training. Oh. Incoming spam detected. Damn, that's a hell of a weird ass text. In-game tutorial advice? Nah. Not at all, son. Not at all. I mean, I don't even know what the in-game tutorials are going to look like. I'm actually of the opinion that Dwarf Fortress doesn't need a tutorial. It just needs like an in-game wiki, but... Or like a link to the wiki. Pretty much, yeah, and then everybody puts it into the same, and then everybody puts it in the same playlist. That's the only way it'll ever happen. DF can at least have tooltips? Yeah, I mean, like... Europa Universalis is also a much more complicated game than Dwarf Fortress. It asks a lot more of the player than Dwarf Fortress does. Seems like you did, Axon, yeah. You. Their loyalty's gone up just a little bit. You know, I think that's actually what we need is education. I've been kind of neglecting the whole, like, schools thing. Hmm.
Didn't reset yet until hit the alert up.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of have to click the alert thing, unfortunately. Although there is actually a way to disable that if you don't want to hit the alerts. But thank you very much for keeping that sub alive regardless, man. Cheers, dude. Making a big-ass university. Or not university, library, which is going to have a big-ass school connected to it. But Adra, seriously, thank you very much for the 49th month. Chat, can I get a big round of beers for Adra keeping that sub alive for 49 months in a row? Goddamn long time, dude. Thanks for sticking around for so long. %, 97, 99, 100. Put in a large carpet, but a carpet. And a door. Glad to support me. Cheers, man. I'm just glad people from the old, some of the people from the old days are still around, you know? That part's just kind of cool. There's a lot of people from the old days have kind of just moved on, you know? But nice to see people swing by. We just stare at this, which will get, this is going to give me a lot of research. Because you don't have research, it's like you need to build libraries and research buildings to have research. Is actually like such an interesting mechanic. Like most games that I play, like I've never had to just I like not built those in? Or have they just simply not built the pillars yet? What's going on here? Oh, I see, they're still clearing. They haven't actually brought in the pieces yet. There we go. Oh, maybe it's because I went through and cut down it. Yeah, okay, I understand what happened there. But yeah, like, research is like persistent buildings that need upkeep. And it's like if you don't upkeep it, then your paper starts to degrade and then you lose knowledge because your books are falling apart. So you gain and lose knowledge based on how many librarians you have, and you can actually like lose texts if you stop maintaining your libraries, which is kind of a neat-ass mechanic, actually. I don't think I've ever played a game that has a knowledge mechanic like this. Quite like it. Right, speaking of schools. We're going to level up knowledge a bunch and grab schools. Cool, there we go. School and scaffolds, the two things that pop up in that search. That's funny. School, scaffolds, what's actually the difference? Come on. Literally the same category. Just schooling different kinds of people. All right, let's make school benches. Places for people to study. And shelves. Go. Hey, Bob, how are you? Hope that you're doing well. Because right now the elves really want schooling. For some reason they want schools. I couldn't quite tell you why, but... Am I not importing any metal? I guess I'm not. Nope. Currently. That's good, Bob. Glad to hear it, man. Something about just watching the pathing work and then build buildings in this game that's just so bloody satisfying. They're just bringing more furniture down here pretty quickly. They're going to need to bring in carpets. This one's going to be the exact same way. But this also needs a lot of paper, which fortunately we have quite a bit of, I think. Not a huge amount of, but we have enough. I'm really curious to see what building schools actually does for the population. Wondering if we're going to get more migrants in this place because we get this massive school and massive library. Something that I think is funny is certain factions in this game dislike square buildings, but an L shape counts as, air quotes, round, which I think is really funny. I don't know if I should consider that the game not working as intended or not, but I think it's the outcome. Today I screw up a dose. It's very blue and very moving. This game has a very high contrast visual style for its building, yeah. To the point where, like, I almost wonder if the dev for this game has, like, a very low contrast monitor. Yes, L is a very round letter, just like Q. And just like you, I like Q too. God, I could just watch them build shit all day. T is your favorite round letter? T is your favorite round letter? See, I prefer coffee. Coffee's my favorite round letter. If T is yours, then coffee's mine. But I'm very funny, I know. Thank you. Thank you. I'll be here tomorrow, and then Monday's my day off, so I won't be here Monday, but I'll be here tomorrow. Also, I just realized I have to wake up early tomorrow. Tomorrow morning's a meeting for my stream team. Round letter or ground letter? Ground letter is very different. I don't know. I think what probably G would be my favorite round letter. Jokes aside, just because my name is Gregory, which includes 2 of them. E is also pretty good if it's lowercase. Uppercase E is very much not as good. Chat, what's the best round letter? I think O is probably pretty high up there. Look at this guy hogging all the G's. No, that's Greg's, the what do you call it? The British chain. With that, because they spell it with 2 G's, which is wrong, and you shouldn't do that, but they still do for some reason. You like lowercase a's? It's as good as it gets. P is pretty good. Yeah, true. P is a good, like, hybrid round and straight letter. Right, so school is almost done. 99% done. Now school just needs paper and workers. By that I mean teachers, and then students. Yeah, that seems to be fixing. Turns out they really wanted schools. God, I wonder why. Weird. Whoomp. Oh, I don't actually have enough people to have that many teachers. A tier 0 video. I don't. Is that like the React channel, but for like tier lists? You know, can I be honest? I don't like tier list videos. To me, they're kind of just like React videos. Like they're just it's non-effort content. Non-effort content is fine sometimes. It's just. I like ironic tier list videos when people make actual tier list videos. It's just stop. I need more paper makers. Which are these? You know what? Let's just crank the speed up. Kind of hoping we'd get more migrant stuff at building the school, but not. Got lots of research now, though. Alright, well, I now have the entire knowledge tree, so that's good, I think. Hmm. I don't know what tech I need right now. I'll just level up combat training. But Tirzu and real life lore are pretty popular. Yeah. I mean, I can't watch JonTron. Like, he seems fine as a person, but like, I don't know. He kind of just like dug himself such a deep hole in 16? I can't listen to his voice without just feeling kind of icky. I'm sure he's fine, but something about him I just can't really enjoy anything that he does anymore. Let's just get the next level of spirituality. This is capable of holding 20,000 knowledge. There we go. Gives us a massive spirituality benefit. Man, once again, we've like managed to expand drastically. Trying to figure out like, what are we missing right now? The administration? Kind of need more paper makers, but not really. This is basically just like government buildings. %. You. Also, if you find this game difficult while messing up your microdosing amount, Tekid, don't ever watch one of Cupo's streams after messing up your microdosing amount. He just makes psychedelic art in Dwarf Fortress. All he does, basically. Also, man, I hope I sleep better tonight. Because, good lord. Not being able to sleep well enough sucks. Man, also I wish that more people in this game would just buy my furniture. Apparently furniture is too easy to make, so nobody buys it. Yeah, I haven't been sleeping well the past few days. Anyways. More or less all week I haven't slept well. Yeah, a lot of people say that the music in this game reminds people of Witcher 3 music. You're not the first person to say that. But that's okay, because that's probably the part of The Witcher that I'm the most familiar with, because the music in The Witcher is pretty good. Do not have anywhere near enough teachers. It's just like real life. Also, I was looking through the names of the songs in this game. One of the songs is literally titled Hanky Panky. I don't think it's this one, but just thought I'd share that. The only thing I think of when I hear that word is fucking Aqua. As in, like, the band Aqua. As in Barbie Girl, they refer to Hanky Panky a couple of times, which just, for some reason, I think is way too fucking stupid, but... Let's increase our ruling skill to increase general happiness and administration. What are you doing? Sir. Are you saying that that's the name of the music? Because I haven't found any. I have not found a single shitpants.ogg file in this game while digging through the sound effects to make the interview. So chat, in a couple minutes here, I'm kind of thinking about, basically once these buildings are done, kind of thinking about swapping over to some Earth Defense Force. Anybody down to play? Some EDF? Because, you know, I've been informed that we have to defend Mother Earth from any alien attack. I titled the pooping sound somehow? Sure, but like... I don't actually have anywhere else to go from there. Sure, but like is all I have to say. Ba-bum. And this is just taking forever. A little bit annoyed that my soldier squads just keep getting smaller. Let's cap these out. If they'll move into other squads. And also, like, build some more squad training areas. Like down here. Better farms. Better fishing. go. Increase the number of teachers significantly. Let more lizard people in. I mean, we also need more, you know, military training because we've got, you know, this big arena that I'm working on. I mean, it's either EDF or I just kind of end it a little bit, chat. So that's kind of where we're at. So if there's people that want to play EDF, I can play some EDF. Otherwise, I'll just stream. Like, I see Sideways is interested. Is there anybody else who wants to play some EDF? Who happens to have EDF 5? Because I'm also okay with just kind of doing a short stream today. I don't know. He says short. 7 hours. Longer than most people stream. I'm just kind of gauging interest because, like, chat's gotten very quiet in the last hour, and EDF is not a good game for chat activity, I'll put it that way. So if there isn't, like, overwhelming interest from chat plus people want to play, then, like, I'll just end early. I'm kind of exhausted. So it's like, it's kind of no sweat off for me regardless either way. It's just kind of up to you guys. But we're at the point / past the point where the more active the chat, the longer the stream goes, so. Because I've just been, like, out of it all day. Yeah, sure, but, like, you and Axon and Hobo just now are the only people that have spoken in the last 15 minutes in chat, which is very quiet. So, I don't want to keep streaming if that's the activity that we're going to get, because that's just going to be rough on the stats. So, 6 out of 66, eh? Like, I need more interest and enthusiasm than just the 2 people who want to play. Otherwise, I could just end stream and play with you guys off stream. Like, that's not an issue. But I'm not seeing any interest here, which kind of sucks. I don't know what to do, guys. Just waiting on paper. The administration building. Hey, we've hit 1,000 blocks. That's good. There we go. Now we're actually getting some new people. That I'm allowing for space for the military again. Yeah, well, paper for the admin building. It's they go through a lot of paper. Also, this school going through a lot of paper, and this library is going through a lot of paper. So it makes logical sense to build more of those around here. It's a very slow process. What is life without paperwork? A better life. As somebody who doesn't like paperwork. Life without paperwork is life that's better than life with paperwork. Prove me wrong. There's probably an accountant somewhere going, no! How dare you betray my interest? And then there's me going, well, you see. Also, best review for the podcast that we've gotten so far. It's a 5-star review on iTunes, and it says, of all of the podcasts I've seen, this is one of them. And it's a 5-star review, and it's just a thumbs up emoji. So shout outs to that person. I like that review. That's a... I mean, come on, like 90% of reviews on like iTunes are bullshit anyway. All I'm saying is if you go leave reviews for my podcast, just make them funny. So if you make us smile, then that's get tidbits. Or maybe you'll get shout-outs, I don't know. Speaking of podcasts, if you're in the Halcyon Frequency Discord chat, you should jump over there and ask us questions. Because we need more questions for the next episode. We just recorded one, so used up the previous ones, but... Your funny review might pop up on the streams. I mean, if you have a funny review, I will comment on it. I mean, we'll see it. You know what's ridiculous is, like, iTunes makes it so hard to see reviews of your own stuff that, like, I have to use a third-party piece of software to see all of the reviews on one screen. What's even better is... I'm using the free version of that piece of software, which literally the only thing the free version does is it displays all of the reviews. If you actually want the statistics and stuff that they provide through that, which iTunes doesn't give you and is terrible, it's like $90 a month. Podcast stats are fucked. Like, I have to look at like 8 different free stats aggregators to actually get accurate-ish estimation on my podcast. And how much traffic it's getting. There is so many hoops I need to jump through just to like figure out approximately how many downloads it's getting. This is a terrible canteen. There's no food in it. Or you want to look like... So I was on the bus over to my parents' house a little while ago. Shortly after Christmas, like while I was still on vacation. And this guy got on the bus, and he wasn't wearing a mask. And the bus driver said, you need a mask to board this bus. And the guy said, I can't afford one, which is like your default response that you say to like get out of wearing a mask because they can't stop you regardless. Like, I can't afford one. Walks past him, and the bus driver goes, nice AirPods! The guy didn't respond to it. I still think to this day that that's maybe the best burn I've seen in a while. Nice AirPods. Like, get fucked. There's the administration building. They still require more paper, but we're getting there. Also, I've got a ton of knowledge now. Turns out, leveling up knowledge, very efficient. All our tech points into warehousing. Let's do a bunch of livestock stuff. Grain. I mean, you're not allowed to say that you can't afford something if you're wearing AirPods. It's just, there should be like a law. It's like, you're no longer allowed to complain about not having enough money if you have AirPods. Uh-oh. We're not keeping up with book degradation. I've, like, increased my knowledge too quickly. Don't have enough paper. Well, I'm trying to make more paper makers, game. Yours were a gift? I mean... Oh, we had a riot? Oh. Somebody rioted. At least it's over now. Nobody died. Must have been a pretty small riot. Somebody broke a child's nursery, though. It's kind of low, man. I can't afford the mask because I bought the AirPods. I don't know. It's still just very funny. AirPods are kind of a... I don't know. It's the kind of tech I can't really get behind. I find wireless earbuds to be the worst inventions I've ever used. And I owned a pair of wireless earbuds for a while until they eventually died. I don't know. It doesn't work for me. I kind of understand why people would use them, but I'm not a fan. Like, I get it, but eh. Axon. I bought this phone last year. Bet. You're a tech romancer. So what you're saying is you're romancing tech? Do you have a Juicy controller or something? I'll be really sad if anybody actually knows what I'm talking about with that. Sorry, I'm a delinquent, okay? Is being a tech romantic just mean that you only go on dates like via video chat? It's funny, I keep getting all these notifications of rebel armies, but like they don't seem to show up on the world map. So I don't know where they're allegedly spawning, but I don't see them in my region at all. And then they don't attack me, so perhaps I can just ignore them to a degree. There we go. I lowered taxes. Now they don't hate me anymore. Is that phone still a Huawei one? No, that's the one that the battery exploded. No, this is a TCL phone. Just remember that those are illegal in the US. No, the Huawei phone didn't have a headphone jack, please. But the battery on that one, it tried to explode, so I recycled it. By that, I mean it got left in the sun on the second hottest day of the year on my counter for 20 minutes, and the battery just went whoop and just like expanded. Because you're a fucking sheep. Yeah, no, this is TCL, and the whole shtick of this phone, I think, is kind of hilarious. This is like they're no frills phones, so it doesn't have wireless charging. It's not waterproof. It doesn't have a particularly nice front-facing camera, and it doesn't have an outward-facing speaker. But it it doesn't have the standard speakers that everybody has that give it like nice sounds. So the outward speaker is like shit. And it's kind of thick, and it's got a big battery in it, but the battery's replaceable, and it's got a headphone jack. So, also, a popular feature among phones is like phones being waterproof, right? You can't have a waterproof phone with a headphone jack, apparently, from what I've been told. I don't know how true that actually is, but that's what I've heard from enough places that I tend to believe it. I mean, I don't need 12 gig of RAM to, listen to podcasts. Like, that's also the thing. It's like literally the only thing I use my phone for is listening to podcasts and Spotify. So it's like, I do not need a lot of the features for phones that a lot of people throw at phones. It's like, I mean, a nice camera is a bonus, but like, I don't need the greatest camera in the world. I don't need, like, it to be paper thin. I don't need any of that, really. I just need, like, a good enough phone that it works. That's about it. I think Hobo was probably one of the first followers for the new podcast. Axon? Because I sent it to him before we told anybody else about it. Hobo and Audio were some of the first people that had access to it because, mods get priorities. By that I mean they beta test shit. Does this website look like crap? Nah. Okay, cool. Usually about how that goes. Cool. Babies are starving still. Excellent. Well, at least they're working as intended. That seems a little out of the realm of doability. How many soldiers we can train after we increase this number? Do you need to sacrifice if you lower the numbers? Unfortunately, I can't sacrifice babies. I can only sacrifice prisoners. I can prioritize certain species to sacrifice, but I can't sacrifice babies. I don't think. Well, most the baby commits a crime, I suppose. Sorry, I think I blew up my microphone there. Accuse the baby of a crime? I don't have, like, a way of doing that, though. But we need that baby to be a criminal for me to arrest it. Alright, well, selling jewelry doesn't appear to have been such a profitable endeavor, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop importing gems. It'll save us a lot of money. And we'll just make and sell the jewelry until we run out of gems, and then we'll figure that out later. That is a real question, not a game. Infants don't really have a sense of self, and you kind of need to have a sense of self in order to commit a crime. But, I mean, if Turnip Boy can commit tax fraud, then so can Baby, I guess. Just gonna make more dorms. These are the cheapest housing. These are bigger than those tiny dorms down there that I was working on previously. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, and I don't need to look at it right now. Just make starving a crime. Getting to like some questionable ethics here, guys. Kind of surprised my my account value hasn't gone up. Oh wow, they're selling the jewelry for even less. You know what? Fuck it. Let's just stop selling the jewelry. Instead, let's go back to selling furniture. See if they want to buy any, because furniture actually sells quite well. We actually have quite a lot of furniture currently. Meaning I can afford to expend a bunch of it. How's paper doing? Well, they're not demanding paper, so that's good. Let's increase the number of teachers working in the school. Seems much better. Can I just say I think it's hilarious that the arena is the same color, because it's under construction, so it doesn't actually count. But the arena is the same color as housing, so at a glance it looks like housing. The kind of housing. The last housing you'll need, but it's a kind of housing. It's also because I haven't been selling furniture for a while. If you sell too much of something, the value of it goes down and the demand goes down, and then they eventually stop buying it. So you kind of can't like just keep selling one thing forever. Which is also kind of neat, just in general. Ugh. I don't know where that yawn came from, but it came from my body, I think. There we go. We're actually, like, gaining paper now. What else can I sell? It's like I could very easily sell livestock, but the problem is like nobody seems to want to buy livestock, especially at the price that they're up for. My biggest import though is alcohol. It's actually my main import in this whole game so far. Alright, well, Rebels, your region has enough. Great. Well, Still not sure why we keep getting rebels. Nor am I sure where they're spawning. Oh, there's a rebels. Oh, there's 75 of them? Oh, I'm so scared. Are they coming to get me? That's the question. Nah, they don't seem particularly interested. Well. Chat, I know I was like throwing around the idea about doing EDF today, but I think I'm just gonna call it. I'm just tired as hell. I think we're just gonna save here. I think that's me for the day, chat. I think that's me for the day. Yeah, sorry to disappoint, but like I just I'm tired and I don't really see the interest from chat. Like I really have to like fake drum it up, so I know it's gonna just be quiet. So maybe we'll do some tomorrow. I don't know. But yeah, I think that's me for the day, guys. So I just want to say thanks everybody for hanging out, watching the stream today. I'm going to, after stream, after I finish doing my YouTube stuff, get away from the computer and go lie down for a bit. I think I'm going to send you guys over to Tone. He's playing Cogmind. What have I done? I'm sitting here and waiting for you to, finish the commissions that I ordered from you, Cooler, because you decided to prioritize another customer over me. I'll have you know I'm a little offended by that. Not really. Take your time. I don't